Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower clear.
The oppressive systems under which African American women live have cyclically kept them out of avenues to participate within the tech field for many years, namely through reoccurring negative stereotypes about women outside of the home, as well as through racist and sexist institutional practices. To paint a brief picture of what the lived reality of a woman in the STEM field has looked like in the past 80 years, we can take a look at Dorothy Vaughan. Dorothy Vaughan was an integral part of the human computers of NASA and their contributions during the Cold War. Through her contributions of activism within her own spheres of influence, she epitomized what it means to do activism as an African American woman in America. Vaughan had to make tough choices before even getting to work, having to leave her children and put her job as a teacher on pause to work for NASA. Vaughan's story of excellence is nothing short of that, yet nonetheless Vaughan, along with other African American women trying to break into the tech field at this time, had to deal with the combining economic, political, and domestic oppressions that held them to very few spheres of influence.
Among the domestic sphere, women at this time were expected to deal with the full-time jobs of being a mother and taking care of the home, and were subjected to an overall patriarchal household structure. No maternity leave was offered at this time for women. Among employment and access to the field, access to an education in the STEM field was very limited for African American women at this time. They occupied very few positions of power in the workplace. Yet even if they got in the workplace, women faced discrimination at a rate much higher than their male counterparts. African American women at this time were also deemed by many sects of society as irrational, which was used as a basis to keep women out of a rational field such as tech. Political pressures keeping women out of tech. African American women did not effectively have the right to vote until the Voting Rights Act, and restrictive labor laws and verbiage that placed emphasis on women's role in the home actively worked to keep these women out of tech as well.
Women have long been overlooked, especially women of color. Their achievements have often been claimed by others or veiled in order to suppress these women. African American women have been prominent in the STEM field for years, but only recently got their time in the spotlight with the release of the 2016 film Hidden Figures. The film explores the oppression that African American women faced during the space race. The human computers of NASA are just some of the African American women in STEM who faced racial and gender oppression. Katherine Johnson was a NASA mathematician who was crucial in calculating takeoff. Her calculations were essential for space trajectory and orbital flight. One of her most significant contributions to the space race was her calculations that helped sync Project Apollo's lunar module with the Lunar Orbiting Command and Service module. She was truly not recognized for her work until 2015 at the age of 97 when President Obama awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She can be considered the turning point in the competition between the United States and Soviet Union during the Cold War. Katherine Johnson was awarded the Medal of Freedom in 2016, several decades after her retirement from Langley. This highlights how the achievements of Black women and their contributions to the tech industry have always been widely ignored. One of Johnson's friends, Mary Jackson, who is the other main character in the film, was also a crucial part of the space program. Mary Jackson was the first Black female engineer in the space program. Her supervisor encouraged her to enter a training program that would promote her from a computer to an engineer. But the program proved to be another obstacle as she was not allowed to attend the classes at an all-white high school. After petitioning the city, she was finally allowed to take these classes and move on to become an aerospace engineer. Mary Jackson's persistence to attain her engineering degree resulted in the hiring of other Black female engineers. The experience of both women highlight the significant oppression faced by colored women in STEM. Their recent recognition shows how underrepresented and disregarded African American women in this field truly are.
Stereotypes and racism have halted African American women from achieving their greatest talents. Especially jobs in the STEM field, women are oppressed. But as we have seen in NASA, the human computers have excelled in technology. Due to the racism we experience in today's world, it's easy to imagine how detrimental it was in the past for an African American woman to obtain a job and be promoted in the STEM field. Although they have been faced with many obstacles, their talents exceeded racist standards. African American women have just as much to offer to the world as anyone else, if not more. The knowledge they exert to our world is life-changing. We must acknowledge and appreciate our past and present African American women who have led in the advances of technology. Today and every day, we need to appreciate the knowledge and technology that African American women have taught us throughout the decades. The color of skin does not determine a quality of life. The human computers, such as Dorothy, Catherine, and Mary, have paved the way for our most advanced technology. Appreciate, admire, and accept our Black women. They will and can pave the way for the future.